What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another day in Car Mechanic Simulator 2021 with me, the Virtual Mechanic, and today's project, this is our competition entry, 1969 Dodge Charger, and, well, it's already slammed down. As you can see, it's definitely got some wide fenders, at least at the front, and, oh no, wide fenders all the way around, and it has got a beautiful carbureted LS3 engine on there, from Multiply, available from Nexus Mods. Absolutely fantastic engine. Last time we did a comp build, we did the Supercharged hood engine. This time we're just going for the carbureted one, and it looks fantastic. As I said, it is slammed down, wide body arches, and has a custom-built transmission tunnel running right the way through the center of it in there. I can't quite take it out because all the bonus parts are sort of clipping with a few other bits. You can get most of it out, but not quite all of it. It's also got a firewall in front of here as well, because the gearbox and exhaust clips through if we didn't. So we did kind of need that there. There's a couple of other bonus parts left to go on this one, but I advise leaving these ones on from factory. They are set to all appear on it when you buy it, so just leave them on there if you grab this one. And the only way to grab this one for yourself is to click that join button below and become a channel member, where I where I let you guys have access to all of my configs and liveries, including this one here today. By the time this video goes live, it should already be on Discord for you guys to play around with. So if you want to get access to this one, click that join button below for £2.99 a month. Head on over to the Discord that will be linked, that will be given to you, and come and grab these ones for yourself. Have some fun with them. They are absolutely incredible. I say my opinion, but if you do enjoy it and you want access, click that join button below. But let's get stuck in and have a look at this beautiful Dodge Charger. As I said, it's the VM Custom Edition 1969 Dodge Charger, available from the barn, the junkyard, or the auction house. The only place you can't get it is from the salon, but you could always add it to that one if you wanted it, or change your settings to include cars available everywhere. I don't do that personally, but you can do that if you want to. It's in pretty bad condition, although we do have, obviously, all the shiny bonus parts already on there, so we don't need to worry about them, which is always a good sign. Did we get a good deal for it? Absolutely not. 71,708 is what I paid, and I could currently sell it for 66,822, losing out on 4,886 before we begin. And obviously, as this is one of our show car builds, we will not be drag racing it. We'll be taking this one straight outside for you guys to vote on and give me a score out of 10 for this beautiful build, so we can get it added maybe to the top 10 show car board, maybe get it into the top 5 and get it out the front with these bad boys just here. What do you think? It is your guys' decision, so do give it a score out of 10. And last but not least, obviously that engine in there is the Multiply Supercharged Carbureted LS3. You can also swap it to the standard Supercharged LS3. As you can see, both texts are quite long. They don't quite fit in there. But it has got 803 horsepower from the factory, and we will obviously be increasing that as much as we can, making this beast as powerful as we possibly can. Ready for you guys to score it out of 10 and see where this one is going to end up on our show car board. But that's enough of an introduction. Let's get this beautiful little beast into the car wash. Let's get it all cleaned up. In the car wash then with our beautiful 1969 Dodge Charger. Let's get this beautiful beast clean. We can already see that it is some kind of orange underneath all of that dust and grime, and a bit of rust as well. It is a very vibrant orange. Pretty confident that is the colour we're going to stick with. I might change it ever so slightly, because I do have a very specific orange in mind for this build, as well as a livery that I hope you're all going to enjoy. But there we go. Interior's done. Body's all cleaned. Let's get this beast back on the lifter. Get that engine ripped out of there and start stripping everything else down. The Charger is in the air, and look at that custom exhaust. I think it looks fantastic. We got the little up pipes at the end with some, I can't remember what these parts are actually called, but some exhaust tips on the end of there with the full piping running all the way across, crossing over in the middle, and then up into that engine bay. It does look fantastic. A little bit of clipping just here, as you can see. And also my firewall does clip with the gearbox a little bit. But I believe that is everything that clips. Oh, the front suspension does clip through just a tad in there, but it's all good. It looks pretty much like it's meant to be that. But anyway, oil pan's there. So let's get that drained out and crack on with what we're actually meant to be doing here. Out you come. That's not very clean. There's quite a bit of it, though, so medium well looked after. I don't know why I just felt like I was ordering a steak, but there we go. Let's get in and get started with our cheeky little starter. Out you come. Nice and simple. And we'll get our drive shaft hidden underneath that beautiful drive tunnel inside the car. Out you come there. Lovely little battery in here with some beautiful detailing on it. We'll check that one out in just a moment. And then we'll grab this gearbox just out of here with its one rusty bolt. There we go. We'll also grab the front exhaust sections just to be on the safe side. We'll leave the rest of the exhaust for the moment. We can grab that all out in a bit. Back down you come, though, you beautiful Dodge Charger. And we've got to try and get that engine ripped out of there. So let's go and grab the engine crane and see if we've taken off enough to pull this one out. Out you come. Nice and easy. That is what we like. Get the engine crane put away. Jump in and see what else we've got inside the engine bay. Obviously, that full exhaust running through there. Fuel tank and battery are down at the back. Nice and simple. And all of the suspension looks like it's there. The wheels are on, so that's always a good sign. The rest of it just does look like it's there. We know we got all of the exhaust that was in there. So let's crack on with the engine bay then. So we got a power steering reservoir, a brake servo just up here. And we've also got our fan housing LS3 radiator at the front here. I couldn't get my words out. Officially, it does hold its own liquid, although unofficially it doesn't actually do it in the game, I don't think. So we've left out a coolant reservoir, and we've got no wiper blades on this Dodge, so we've got no wishy-washy wiper as well. And obviously it's carbureted, so it does carbureted, so it doesn't need an ECU. We've got a cheeky little fuse box just up here inside the dashboard, looking pretty tasty. And as for the front suspension, that does all pretty much look like it's there as well. Nice and simple. I can see all the bushings. I see the inner and outer tie rods, sway bar end links. It all looks like it's there, which is always very helpful because it makes it easier to know when you're replacing everything. But now we need to drain some of these liquids. So additional tools, drain tool, click and hold on the container, and it will drain all the liquids out. I'm going to get these two drained, and then I'm just going to quickly show you the details on the battery that I lined up for this beautiful Dodge Charger, just because I'm quite proud of it. That's all. Come out of that mode. Let's go into photo mode so we can see everything. You can just about see it here anyway. Battery on there. It's got a clip over the top, but it does sort of connect into all of them connections that were preset on there. I think that's looking fantastic. Then the cables run up past our drive wall. What on earth? Past our drive shaft tunnel and then clipping in through the front at the end, obviously where the gearbox will clip through, and there's a few other cables. But it all looks pretty good. There's a few bits where it just disappears and comes back up there. The rest of it runs down this side and then sneaks off down into the back there. I think it's all looking pretty good. I'm quite pleased with it. The engine's out. I'm going to get the rest of the engine base stripped, all of this suspension stripped off, and then we'll come to sorting out the beautiful bodywork, ready to put this Dodge Charger into the paint shop so you can see the livery we're going for this beast today. That's everything repaired, replaced, or upgraded mechanically for our beautiful Dodge Charger. But now I need to sort this bodywork out, so let's start stripping it all off. Fenders, front end, and all the headlights and everything there. Happy with that. Now you come for the fender on the other side, just leaving all the frames there. Windshield out you come. We do have a bit of a side skirt, as well as the rear fender on there, and a body window. Off you come, round we go. Rear bumper, tail lights, out you come, out you come. Car part 2, which is that whole rear piece on there. Then we got the trunk, the rear window, and if we move around to this side, we have a left body window as well. And then we have the big old rear clamshell one piece. Off you come, and I think that might actually be it. I'm not 100% on that. We'll go through and double check it, but let's get what's left of this interior out. We're not sticking with this interior either, so out you come and out you go. We're gonna swap that one out to something different. Now, is that... oh, that is right. I thought that was a gap there. I thought I'd made a mistake, but it's not. It's where that cable runs through. Genuinely thought I'd made a mistake. But let's have a look. Have we got everything? Don't want that screen. 1% on there. Interior's down at 25%, but there's only 3 bits in it, so it makes sense. 1% on parts. Just double check. It's not letting us change, so it looks like something's still attached. It is a car part 1D, and I've got no idea what that is. So let's jump into the body shop very quickly. Fresh import goods, 1969 Charger. And one is the fuel cap, which is down here. There we go. Out you come. Just missing that one little piece down there. Now, as we found it, nothing on there. 1% showing up on there. It's still not letting us change the frame, but there is definitely nothing else there. Bit bizarre. Don't know why it's not letting us do that, but there we go. It is all down to the correct percentage. Everything's fully stripped off our beautiful Dodge Charger. So let's have a look. Frame is at 38%, and we bought the car for just over 71,100. What do we think? Do we think it's going to be a high repair cost? Am I going to get it massively wrong? That is the bigger question. I'm going to go 1250. 1500. I was thinking 1500. Anyway, let's get that all sorted and ready to go. Then we'll jump in the body shop and properly, I say properly, we're not going to fully in-depth take a look at all 16 pages, but let's have a quick look. Plenty of fuel door options, so you can do whatever you like with that one there. Fuel door, filler cap, whatever you want to call it. Rear bumper, by the looks of that, there is loads and loads of options on there, even some with some big old fender fins and stuff like that. Not really feeling that for this build, although that would have been pretty epic. Maybe we should test fit one of them and see how it goes. We'll have a look later. Plenty of exhaust options, but we're using a custom exhaust, so this part's going to be empty for us. And we're also not using any of the engine covers either. They're just not part of this build, although there are some cool engine covers, mostly for the Fast and Furious Dodge build. But there we go. The front bumpers, there's a couple of options on there. In fact, there's plenty of options. Oh, yeah, okay. Where do clamshells begin? There's plenty of options for front bumpers. I'm not sure which one we're actually using. Oh, I don't know. It might be this one. Might be this one. I think it is. Oh, no. I don't know. Anyway, front clamshells, we've got plenty of options on there as well. And then front ends, plenty of options on there as well. Oh, that's the front end we're using. I know that one for definite. Then we've got doors. There is quite a few options with the doors. I've played around with them. The ones that are going back on it are the ones staying on it. I have had a play. There's plenty of options. Metal door cards, things like that. This one's here is pretty bare as well. A lot of them do have trim. You've got painted door trims, no handles. This is the one we're going for because it's got the extra little vent just around the outside, just for something a little bit different. You could have got it on here, but black metal door cards, I actually wanted some interior. Then we got some window options, painted black, maybe carbon fiber, and a chrome one on there. I'm not sure. Then we got plenty of arch options. Again, the ones we're going for are pretty definitively fixed. I think it's this one here with the big fender flares, or it could be this one. Can't remember if it's the Daytona or normal or not. Doors for the other side. Keep going around. More fenders. Let's just quickly skip through this. Lots of hood options. We will be using one of the 70 hoods, or the 70-year hoods. One of them is slightly wider than the other. I can't remember which one it is, but it's the one that's already on there. Lots of headlight options if you want them closed, open, things like that. And then different style headlights as well. We're just going for the normal glass lenses behind our grille. Few different mirror options, tail light options, more rear bumper options. Then that top clamshell, plenty of options for there as well. Then the fender flares, wide body, not wide body, so on and so forth. Couple of big old spoiler options at the back if you want one of them. And then more lights for the other side. More parts of the tail lights for the center there and then for the other side. And then trunks with pins, spoilers, lips, everything you could possibly imagine. And a couple of windshield options just to finish it off. I think we're going for this one here because we're not using the window wipers because we've got no wishy-washy reservoir, if I could get my words out. There we go. That was probably about as quick as I could make it. I could have made it a lot quicker, but I do like to cover things on this channel. This car is ready to go. Obviously, all the bonus parts are already on the inside. There is a couple more bonus parts ready to go. So I'm going to go get this bodywork all sorted, and then we can get it all back together and get this beast into the paint booth. We've repaired what we can and bought what we needed to buy to get the body of this beautiful Charger all back together. So let's get started on with the doors. Door eye I've gone for with the painted door trim and shaved handles on there, looking fantastic. Window is the painted window for the front there. This part here, obviously at the moment, is black, but when we get the livery on it, it will change colour a bit later. And we've gone for some dark, smaller mirrors on there, still adding a bit of width, just not quite as wide or as big as we could have possibly made them. For that rear clamshell, painted trim Daytona clamshell P on there, looking fantastic on you go. And obviously our blank windshield with no window wipers or anything like that, and our body window down at the back, just a window on there. Rear left fender is fender O, which is the super wide flares on there with a little bit of an air intake, looking absolutely wild and fantastic. Let's get car part one just on there while we can. Our little fuel door. Front left fenders are the super wide flares for the 70 Charger, although this is a 69. Fenders O, sorry, not zero. It's letters, not numbers. Round to the other side, the same one for the Fender O on there as well. And the hood is the hood, wow, hood H. I couldn't figure it out there. It says to use for specific things. Engine cover B only. We're not using the engine covers anyway. Use with front end H and O. I think that's the front end we've gone for. Let's just double check it. H and O. Yes, it is. On you go there in our little round headlights just behind it. In you go and in you go. Then we get that front clamshell, which is clamshell I, just on there. And we can get then the front bumper wrapping around it, looking very, very nice on there. Now, we do have a couple of bonus parts for the front, so let's just get them in now while we're here. And it's just a couple of little headlight options, little headlight reds to go in there. Looking absolutely fantastic. On you go, on you go, and on you go. Just making that front end look a bit meaner. And then from a certain distance away, you can't even see them anyway. I'm liking that. I think that looks pretty good. 2 more bonus parts on there. We'll come to them in a bit. But let's crack on with the rest of the bodywork. Same door as the other side. Door eye, painted trim, no door. Extra little fender piece on there. No door handle, I meant to say. Not no door. That was a bit over the top. Painted window. And then just the rear body window A in there. And the same mirror for the other side. Along with that big old fender O. Just to give that wide body on there. Again, looking fantastic. Rear window is the Daytona, which is rear window D. Blanked out window, no lines, no vents, no giant spoiler. Nothing like that on this one. For the trunk, we've gone for trunk M, which is the Daytona with the trunk pins. And just a little blacked out spoiler on there. Is that blacked out or is that carbon fibre? Blacked out. Just blacked out is what I was aiming for. Hopefully we can change the colour on it a little bit later on if we need to. We might not need to. Rear end, I went for Dodge Charger Car Part 2K. I did quickly try that one with the big fenders at the bottom. Or canyards, whatever you want to call them. But it didn't really fit with the rest of the build. So I took it back off and replaced it back with our original one on there. Just with a cheeky little painted rear bumper. And then the tail light E's on there, which again look absolutely fantastic. We may add a splash of colour to them later. We shall see. And we'll just get a blank license plate. That did offer me a front license plate there. This vehicle doesn't have a front license plate. That's weird because I've already scrapped off the other one, so I don't know where that came from. Bizarre. But anyway, is that everything for the bodywork? 100% on there. Obviously, the frame's up to 100%. We just need to get some interior in. Then we can get this beast into the paint shop. Now, I did say I was swapping the seats out. And we're going for Multiply's MSPM Recaro S1972 style seats in there. Looking fantastic. They should look absolutely beautiful when we get a splash of colour on them a bit later on. And we're going with my classic VM steering wheel. VMA, thank you again to Multiply for these. They look absolutely beautiful. I love them. But anyway, that should be now everything externally and interior-wise for this Dodge Charger. 100%, 100%, 100%. It definitely is. And we'll get this beast into the paint shop in just a second when I add the last 2 bonus parts to this build. In we go. That's not the right screen. I want this one here. Just up here, we've got some classic fluffy dice. You know how we do. And then just down here, we've got a little bit of our cheeky e-brake just to really finish that interior off. I think it's looked fantastic. I think it's looking fantastic is the words I was looking for there. Just missing that beautiful engine sticking out the hood there once it's all colour matched later on. But there we go. She's looking fantastic. A little bit miscoloured at the moment. But let's get her into the paint shop. Get that beautiful livery on. See what you guys think. And decide on the colour. Although I'm pretty sure it's just going to be this orange in a matte finish. In the paint shop then with our beautiful Dodge Charger looking wild and fantastic. I'm very, very pleased with how this one turned out. Let's have a look at some factory colours, shall we? Not that I think we're going to go for any of this. Wow, that's a nice orange. Or potentially. No, not a big fan of gloss. And it does not like, my frame rate does not like going through these factory colours for some reason. Every time I hover over the colours, it is dropping massively. But anyway, lots of lovely colours on there, including that green. That is a nice metallic green. But I have already fully decided what I'm doing with this build. So let's just get on with it. Let's go into here. We're going to change this wrong way to a matte finish. I want to go to 30 along here. Along we go. 180. That is the matte orange we're going for. Quite vibrant, but not too in your face. Very liking that. Very liking that. Good England again. Liveries. I'm not going to go through all the liveries that come with this because they're all pretty large and they take a little while to load. So I'm just going to go straight into mine, which is the VM custom one on there. Looking fantastic. We've obviously got this band that wraps all the way around the front of the car there. Obviously just splits in the middle where we've put a cheeky little VM. And we've also got a VM on either side as well. Just to show that this is a VM custom build. The black front end there or grille or whatever I can't, front bumper. There's definitely a front bumper in that grey, sorry, and it's not in black, it is in a grey. This is grey, this is grey, and obviously the white stripes. Then we've got the two dual stripes going back, obviously meeting up with that supercharger into a single stripe going all the way from front to back with its white border. Looking absolutely beautiful. I love this car. The livery is one of them things. I didn't want to go too over the top with it. I did try a few extra side pieces, but was advised to drop them because it was a bit too much going on. So I get that. But we've got a few other details as well. The frame around the front and the rear window is all in a beautiful white, matching in with the stripes, the outside stripes. And then the frames on the side windows and that obviously painted window part are all in that grey as well. Looking very nice. Going to get the mirrors in the same grey. Take a bit of shine out of them. Not sure about this rear spoiler because it is attached to the trunk, so we might have to just leave that one as it is, but I will try. I'm also going to put maybe a bit of grey on these rear lights as well, just to take some of the shine off of them. Obviously, we're going to add some orange to the seats and steering wheel, and we're going to change the colour of the handbrake into a grey instead of that orange. Just a little bit too much on the orange floor and everything. That's the plan, at least anyway. I'm going to stick with it. Oh yeah, I forgot to say, we've also made it so that the rails on the inside of the engine bay and also the top of the engine bay are in a beautiful white. It is looking very nice. Let's just get it painted. Oh, I forgot to talk about the bolts. I've painted the bolts in an orange colour anyway. I don't think I've got anything I can quickly show you to put on. No, I'd have to lift the car in the air anyway. So let's just go back into here very quickly. I'm going to just show you what I've done with it. I've gone for painting all screws, including rims, 30 for the same orange. That I've changed the saturation and brightness, almost switched them, but just given it a bit more saturation. I have played with that. It should closely, not perfectly, but closely match the orange that's on the body. We will check that one out a little bit later on, but there we go. I'm going to crack on and start getting some of these extra pieces painted, such as the interior, obviously that steering wheel, this bonus part just here, and we're obviously going to take those rear tail lights out as well. Out you come, and off with the mirrors. They're the things we're definitely going to change. Close you, get you, and then I'm going to see if I can do something with that spoiler just to take some of the shine out of it, but still keeping that livery and finish on that trunk if I can. I'll give it a go. I'm not promising anything, but we'll see how it turns out. But that's the basis. Next time you see this beast, it'll be back on the lifter. Everything that I've just mentioned will all be changed colour, and we'll have all the suspension painted, and then we'll crack on to getting that engine all finished off and dropped into the beautiful VM Custom Dodge Charger. That's everything painted for our beautiful custom Dodge Charger, and a few little bits have changed and nothing too special. Starting off with these wing mirrors, they're now in a what's looking like a bit of a lighter grey, but I think it's just the light reflecting off of it in certain places, matching in with this livery and stuff. Looking very nice. Round to the back, we also got the tail lights in a bit of a grey as well, but again, they've come out a lot lighter than that centre stripe on there. We did also manage to fix the spoiler, although not in a grey. That would have been almost impossible because we needed this base orange. So we've just done that one in a steel black, which also made the pins go black, and also the little catches on the back there all go black, which then made me want to try the same with the hood, and which I did and was successful. Kept the livery on it, although some of the detail has been lost even a little bit more than it was before. But we now got all of these hood latches also now in the black. Looking very nice on there. If we just open this door up, did manage to splash a tad bit of orange on that steering wheel, and also a lot of orange on these beautiful seats. All of that stitching all now in the orange. The center plastic bits all now in the orange with orange striping, bit more orange stitching in there, and one more orange pad just on the inside that isn't matched on the outside. I don't know why that is. Random little detail, but it looks pretty good nonetheless. In here, we got some bolts that just about clip through along with the bushings. That's a bit disappointing, but never mind. They weren't there before with the original bushings, and a little bit of the shocks just popped through up there. But apart from that, everything else is looking pretty good. Obviously, we got our bonus part handbrake in there in the grey as well, and it is all looking pretty good. But if we open up this hood and check out the engine bay, I'm loving all the white framework in there and that white half of a back wall, I guess you could call it. All looking pretty good. We got a Summit radiator at the front here in a beautiful white with a grey shroud and orange fans on there. The central cross member is in a beautiful grey with orange and white bushings, just so them orange bolts go in. And the colour-wise, I think is pretty good on there. Not too far off, just an ever so slight bit out. But anyway, lots of splashes of the white on the arms there. Bit more white on the shield, orange on the brake kit as we got on there. Orange springs, and obviously grey on them shocks on there. And it is all looking very nice. We jump up into here. We got grey on the brake servo, grey on the power steering reservoir, and grey on the fuse box. And then we got grey on the base, white on the bracket, and obviously orange on them support rods there for the battery that's all connected up, looking fantastic. And then onto the rear end, grey in the central, white arms with orange bushings, white shield, grey on the springs and stuff like that. Grey on the shocks and bits like that. Orange on the springs and orange on the brake again, with a grey fuel tank and an orange fuel pump. And then just to finish it off, that last diff cover, just in a cheeky little white with the orange bolts on there. All looking very good. But now we need to go and build that carbureted, beautiful LS engine. So let's get into the other room, check it out on the stand, and see what we've got going on. The block here is in steel black and orange, so we do have a little bit of steel black in this one. And I made the oil pan steel black as well, just so it blended a little bit better. Heads on the top there are in that very vibrant body-coloured orange, looking nice. And you do also have 8 push rods and 8 rocker arms per side, so 16 of each of them in total, as well as... Oh, I've taken them out. I forgot to put them back in. Let's get them in now. 4 spark plugs on either side as well. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Spin around to the other side. I also took these ones out. I didn't mean to. In you go, in you go, in you go, and on you go there. And that is the base of our beautiful LS3. Let's get started as getting some of these bits on with that timing cover in there in a beautiful orange on the front. All of these bolts will go orange once it is dropped into the car. Water pump is in orange and steel black. A little bit more of that steel black, just because we kind of had to, just a tad. Power steering pump down here is in orange and steel black as well. Just that wheel in steel black. The rest of it in the orange. We've got cheeky little arm up here, which is in a white, just for good measure. I'm liking that. There is a bit more white to go on this one. Don't you worry. Just down here, we got the oil filter in a very vibrant orange. But let's crack on and get some more of this in. Water pump pulley in a cheeky little white on there. Again, the bolts will go orange. The supercharger crank pulley in a very vibrant matte white on there as well. And so are both our idle rollers. In you go and in you go. There is one more idle roller to go in a little bit later. Belt. Can we do it now? No, oh, because we haven't got the alternator on. That's why. So let's get the alternator on, which is in that body-matched grey on there. Looking very nice from the livery. Now we can get that belt on. Blacked out matte black on the belts. And then if I could just get this idle roller, there you are. Just in the cheeky little white for that last one on there. There's one more belt to go, but not until after we've got the supercharger on. So let's get this intake manifold in. It is in a beautiful, vibrant orange, matching in with them heads. And again, makes it look like one piece, so it kind of flows all the way across there. Looking very nice. Quite pleased with how it turned out. Onto our engine head covers. In you go. They are in that body-matched grey. Looking good. And again, orange bolts. Once it's in the car, they should look fantastic. White ignition coils on here. Looking very good. In you go. In you go. Just one more on this side, and we'll go on crack and get the other side all done. And then we've got our fuel rail as well, which is in a white, but with this little splash of steel black, just to give it a bit more colour definition. Let's get on and get this other side all in and all up to the same place. The cover on, the ignition coils and fuel rails are all in, ready to go. Not got too much left to go on this beast of an engine, so let's crack on with this LS3 supercharger, which is in steel, it's in that body matched grey, sorry, and a forced white on there. Just blending that in with the rest of the front of the engine. Looking very good on you go. Then we've got that big old belt on the front. Absolutely wide belt on there. Just in that matte black, same as the rest of the belts. The carb adapter plate on you go in a very bright orange. This should be visible from the top of the car once we get it all in. Now, these LS carbs that Multiply has created are fantastic, but there isn't a performance version of them, which will mean a little bit less tuning on this one. And as we don't have an ECU, because it's got carburetors, we probably won't be able to tune these carbs either. So there's even slightly less tuning on this beautiful LS3. But anyway, filter base in there in a cheeky little white with our carb filter in that vibrant orange. And then the cover just on top, also in a cheeky little white. Looking very good on there. Swinging around to the back, we've got our fuel filter in a vibrant orange. And then our exhaust manifolds, in you go, in that beautiful, beautiful matte white. And the rest of the exhaust is all going to be matte white and hopefully look fantastic. We will check that one out in literally just a second, because now this engine is all finished. The beautiful LS3 on the stand in steel black, body matched grey, body matched orange, and matte white on there. And it is all looking pretty good, if I say so myself. Let's get it off the stand. Let's get it dropped into the custom charger. Let's get this beautiful carbureted LS3 engine into this beautiful Dodge Charger. Get that crane put away, and it's already looking fantastic from there. Plenty of white, plenty of grey, plenty of orange, and then them orange bolts on there are looking very, very nice. Ever so slightly off. It's so hard to match bolts and the oranges that you're going to use, but you can see how close it actually is. All looking very nice on there. Let's get you up in the air though, Charger. Get your gearbox in, starter, drive shaft, and get that exhaust all finished off with them little up pipes at the end. Looking fantastic. In we go. Starting with that beautiful gearbox. On you go in steel black and orange. Just a little bit extra of that orange splash. It is a darker orange as we go onto there. It's not quite fully matched, but it is very, very close. Down here we go. Drive shaft, on you go in steel black and orange again. Looking very nice. I don't know what is in front of the screen there. What is that piece? I don't know. It's gone. So we've got the orange wheel on the front there and also an orange wheel on the back connecting into that drive shaft. Looking very, very nice. But let's crack on with our cheeky little starter, which is in a solid white down here. I find solid works best on the starter if you don't want to take away from the detailing that's already on there. Then all of our exhaust is all in that beautiful matte white. We've got some little short pits there, and then a slightly longer 45 that crosses over itself. Looking very good. Really, really long straight pipes down the middle there. And then we finally start shaping off to get out to our exit down the back, just down at the end here. Underneath our beautiful drive axle, our solid rear axle housing, whatever you want to call it. In you go, in you go. And then down to the back, got a couple more long straight pieces, if I could get you in. And then these spoon-style mufflers on the end. And then just the little up-pipe muffler tips just to finish it off in the end there. All in that matte white, and it is all looking fantastic. I'm very, very impressed with how this turned out. If we take a walk out from underneath, plenty of white, plenty of grey, plenty of black, and just a few splashes of that orange to take us away from what's going on. It's looking beautiful. I'm absolutely loving it. What do you think? Do let me know in the comments down below. But let's go and close this hood. Now we need to crack on and get these windows tinted. Maybe do something with the lights. I quite like them rear lights, but maybe we'll try something. I'm not going to do anything with the front lights because I like how they look, and I don't think we've got any fender pieces or side skirts to do. So let's crack on, get the windows done, see if we can do anything with them lights, and make sure we get the window tinted nicely. We're not racing it today, so it doesn't matter too much, but we still want to be able to see when we're sat inside. So I'll crack on with that, and I'll be back in a second. The windshield and side windows are at 60%, and it still looks a little dark, so we'll check that one out in a minute. In fact, from the side there, you can't even see out that windshield, so we'll double check it. Then the rear windows are all at 100%, just for full darkness on there, and it does actually blend in really well with that livery stripe, if I do say so myself. Self pat on the back, thank you very much. Anyway, rear clamshell. Ooh, will this? I just make it a very bright colour. And then we should be able to see if there is any of that red popping through. I can't see any anywhere. It doesn't really look like it. Bit of a shame, but never mind. Off you come on there. Rear bumper, do we have? We do have some lights up there. Oh, we don't really need to do anything with them. They already look all right. Tail light, do we want to? We could just go full black. We could go just a bit darker, maybe like that 1% that we do occasionally. Yeah, I'm actually quite liking that. So we're going to go for that on there, and then the same on the other side. And then what else have we got? That's all of it. So we could do anything with them headlights, even if we wanted to. And although I said I wasn't going to do anything with the tail lights, I really like them. We're taking the red out. I think it looks pretty smart. So that's what we're going to go with. But anyway, let's jump inside and see if we can actually see out of these windows. They are incredibly dark. maybe just like another 5% lighter just to get better visibility. Let's give that a go and see how it turns out. Windshield, so we go down to 55 on the windshield. On you go, and then we want to skip them and go to not the rear window, the front left door window, and then the front right door window. Try them at 55. I think it's probably the lightest I've ever tinted a window. That's a little bit better. We can see out of it, so that will count. And if when we're outside in the sun it looks even darker in a minute, we might bring it down just a little bit more. But there we go. That's most of it done for the time being. We get the window tint and stuff put away. I'm not going to jump into there. I meant to open the hood. I'm going to get the liquids topped up. I can't remember if this needs any or not, but the brake servo, the engine, and the power steering reservoir definitely do. And then we'll sort out some wheels for this beautiful custom Dodge Charger. You saw them at the beginning. The rims I'm going for are the Jaguar F-type rim, but I've got a plan to make these look absolutely fantastic. I know exactly what I'm going for. We're going to go for that matte white that we've already been using. Going to go into our water droplet. We're going to go all the way across to, you guessed it, steel black. On we go there. And I'm just going to nip back one to paint and material mix. And that is what we're going for. Kind of looks like miniature fleur-de-lises in the each side there, with that white stripe going through and the white rim behind it. Looks absolutely fantastic. Loving how that looks. So let's get it painted, attached to some tyres, and then onto the Charger. Beautiful looking rims. Just getting this last rim balance now, and we can get this side of the car all finished, ready to go outside in the sun. Off you come, and let's jump on and get this rear wheel on. The other side's already done. As I said, it is the F-type rim for the back. Switch over to this one here. We've gone for a 21-inch rim with a 355 width and a 25 profile on there. ET65, which brings it further out from the actual hub. So let's get this rear wheel on. You will notice one thing, or you might not notice it. Have you noticed? Can you see it? Let me know in the comments. These F-type rims, and I think some of the other DLC rims, don't get the ET piece. It's not there. The actual bit that brings it out is missing, so the wheels don't attach. I'm not sure why that is, but it looks even weirder in the car register when you've got some ET on it, which can only be done with a quality of life mod, because it actually brings the ET chunk out through the rim, so it looks like it's going to seriously mess up. But there we go. Just one of those things. Still looking beautiful, though. Onto the front rim. Let's get you on F-type rims again. 21-inch, same size, but 255 width at the front, so much thinner. 25 profile still, and it only needs ET45 at the front. If you use different rims, it will fill in that bit, but we're going to gloss over it just because I absolutely love how these rims look painted in black and white. They look fantastic. So impressed. But there we go. That should be this beautiful Charger all finished. Back down onto the ground you go. Ready to go outside into the sun. We are just going to double check, make sure we got it all. Don't want that screen. 100% across the board. Absolutely fantastic from the VM Custom Dodge Charger. That's everything all finished on our beautiful VM Custom Dodge Charger. Just one thing left to go, and that's the rear license plate. Off you come from there. And then let's get our finishing plate on, which just says VM Custom, because it is the VM Custom Dodge Charger. Looking absolutely fantastic. The livery is very, very nice. It could be a bit more detailed. Some of this stitching issue here, I don't even know what that's come from, but that happened after I changed the colour of the hood to put these black pins on it instead of the chrome ones. But it's still all looking very nice anyway. Absolutely loving this one. And if you want access to it yourself, click that join button below for £2.99 a month, where I share all of my configs and liveries. But there we go. Enough of that. Let's jump inside this beautiful Dodge Charger and see what she sounds like. In fact, before we do that, let's have one last check of that engine. Opening up that hood there. She's looking so good. I absolutely love that engine in there. I think it looks beautiful. I could have gone with the supercharged cowl, or the bug catcher cowl on the top, but I quite like it just with the air filter and carburetors. Just giving it something a little bit different. As we jump inside, get this engine started. Now, the floor has changed colour. If you make the bolts white, the floor will change colour to white. If you make them black, they'll go black, so on and so forth. And now it is an ever so slight different orange to the rest of the orange we've got going on inside the car. But never mind. Let's get this beast started and see what she sounds like. We heard the supercharged version the other day. Now let's hear the carbureted version. Carbureted? Can never say that word right, but anyway, let's give it some gas. Oh, that sounds wild at the top end. That whine is absolutely insane. Sounding incredible from our custom Dodge Charger. But let's get this beast onto the dyno, see what our horsepower is and what our drag rating will be. On the dyno with the VM custom Dodge Charger from 1969, pumping out 803 horsepower from the standard supercharged carburetted LS3 from Multiply. How much have we added and what will its drag rating be? Only a gain of 529 horsepower at 66%. Quite ironic. The year 1966 was the last time England won a major tournament. And we're in one right now. We've made it through to the knockouts. Is that an omen that England are going to be bringing home at the Euros? Is coming home? Is it too soon? I don't know. Anyway, 529 horsepower gained, 66%. Bearing in mind, though, we don't have a ECU to tune or officially any carburetors to tune because they are standard edition carbs, not tunable carbs, because sadly, not available. But there we go, bringing us up to 1,331 horsepower. That seemed like I was saying it wrong, but I wasn't, which is pretty good. Over 1,000 horsepower from our 1969 wide-bodied Dodge Charger and a drag rating of a 791. Not that we're bothered about that. We just did this one for the looks. So do make sure to give this one a score out of 10 in the comments so we can get this beautiful beast added to the show car board, maybe into the top 5 out the front, but fingers crossed at least into the top 10 onto the board on the inside of the shop. There is a gearbox tune for this one. Not that I've really done much to it. I just brought the final ratio down a little bit to 3.41 from, I think, 3.91, somewhere around there, just to make it feel a bit more appetizing, should we say. I haven't bothered fully going to tune it because we're not racing this one today. It is our show car build, so we're not that fussed about how it gets off the line because, well, it's just for a show car. It's to sit on a podium and spin around, occasionally be driven to the shops and stuff like that. So yeah, no ECU, no carburetors, but there is 2 shorts, both linked in the description below, that you could go check out if you want to see how to easily tune the ECU every time or easily tune the carburetor every time. Less than 60 seconds and definitely worth checking out. But there we go, all finished with our beautiful Dodge Charger. Let's get it back outside in the sun one last time, talk some facts and figures, and then see what we've got coming up next. All finished then with the beautiful VM custom Dodge Charger. Absolutely fantastic. Haven't got it added to any boards yet because I need you guys to give this beast a score out of 10 so we can get it added to that show car board and maybe sit out the front with the top 5, or maybe, just maybe, sit on the board with the top 10, which I'll be happy with either. To be honest with you, I'd rather it be sat out front. But let's talk some facts and figures about this beautiful wide-bodied Charger. I bought the car for 71,708 at the very beginning of the episode and could have sold it and lost out on 4,886, but we didn't do that. We spent a further 87,047, excuse me, upgrading, modifying, tuning and painting this beautiful car to how you see it right in front of you now. I do absolutely love this one. I think it is a stunning beast and I absolutely love it. Once again, if you want access, click that join button below and become a member of the VM Garage Club. But we spent 158,755 on this Charger. Is there some money to be made? Let's take a look. Well, there she is, now all 100% complete, looking fantastic. And tuned that engine, not as high as we would like, but from 803 to 1,331 horsepower. A gain of 66%. Again, last time England won a major tournament. Anyway, enough of that. But we did spend 158,755 to get there. Is there some money to be made? Yes, yes there is. With the sale of 274,592, leaves us with a profit of over 100,000, 115,837. Not that we are selling this bad boy at all. As I said, by next Thursday, so a week today, is when we'll get this one added to the show car board. So you've got until like Tuesday, Wednesday to get your vote in, give it a score out of 10 and decide what you want to leave this one, where you want to leave this one on our show car board. Will it make it to the top 5 out the front there? You decide. Also, this is your final chance to vote in the competition. I've just realised the competition, by the time you see this video, entries will already be closed, but you can go and vote for your favourite, and it is any Dodge. There's such a good variety of cars in there at the moment, so go and vote for your favourite. If it's mine, excellent. If it's not, so be it. I love to see the competitions. They are a lot of fun. So go and take part by voting, and keep your eyes peeled and ready for the next competition that will be coming up. It'll be very similar, where you'll be able to enter multiple different vehicles, but this time it'll be law-based. So anyway, enough of our beautiful Dodge Charger. If this one makes it into the top 5 of our show car board, I may well do a second Signature Series t-shirt and mug. Our current Signature Series t-shirt and mug is this one here, which came second in our show car board and is still sat in second place quite comfortably. We have our Signature Series cup and our Signature Series t-shirt to go with this one that are only on sale until the 31st of July. So you've got a little over a month left to grab one of these, and then once they're gone, they'll be gone and they will not be coming back. But if you want to see another Signature Series t-shirt, maybe if we get this one into the... Actually, I'll reduce it. I'll say top 3. If we get it into a top 3, I'll do another Signature Series. If you want to see this one on a t-shirt and mug, let me know in the comments below, along with your score out of 10 for our VM Customs 1969 with 70 body parts Dodge Charger. Absolutely fantastic. But what have we got coming up next? You've already seen it on the trailer. We already talked about it in the last episode. This is another Patreon exclusive from Payne. This is the beautiful Ferrari F40, and I cannot wait to get stuck into this beast. It's going to be so much fun. It beat us on the drag strip, this exact model. Well, not this exact one, obviously, because this is a wrecked competition. But when we did the drag race in the previous episode, we lost to one of these beasts. If I could find a place to get in, that'll do. It is the Ferrari F40 Competition. I don't know quite how to pronounce that. Competition? Something along those lines. But it is fantastic anyway. It's available from the auction at the barn or the junkyard. I may have added the junkyard. I'm not sure, because I do like to get them from the bad auction house where this one is from. And it's not too bad, though. It's still in relatively good condition nonetheless. Did we get a good deal for the beautiful Ferrari F40? No. But we paid $750,000 for it. 752,400 is what we paid, and we can currently sell it for 717,322, losing out on 35,078 credits before we even begin. But we will be drag racing this one, so we might be able to claw some of that back on the drag strip, a little over a third or around a third of that back. But hopefully by the time we get this one back together, looking shiny and new and with a tuned up engine in there, should be able to sell for more than 1.5 million. I'm imagining up in the 7s or 8s, but I'm not sure. So we will find out in the next episode. The engine in this one is the V8 double overhead cam A.K.A. TRS-M, which is the mid-mounted twin turbo engine, pumping out 720 factory horsepower already, and that's without us doing any tuning or anything like that. So this one could be just a little bit wild. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Let me know if you are into the comments below. And then join us back here on Monday when we will be building this beautiful Ferrari F40. It is fantastic. What did you think of the VM Customs Dodge Charger? Looking absolutely fantastic, in my opinion. I love that build. And if you do want access, this is the last time I'll mention it, I promise, in this episode. If you do want access, click that join button below. Become a member of the VM Garage Club, where I do share my configs and liveries over on our Discord channel. It's also a place where you can get early sneak peeks to my builds, sometimes help me design some stuff. I asked for quite a bit of help doing this Dodge Charger. Got some livery help and advice and stuff like that on there. So if you want to come and take part in what we do here on the channel, do hit that join button below for £2.99 a month, less than a cup of coffee, and it really does support me. Like these guys on screen, thank you very much. The three of you are absolute legends. I appreciate you to no end. You really do. You definitely support me month upon month, and it is definitely very much appreciated. But thank you to the rest of you for all watching. Hope you did enjoy today's video. Leave a cheeky little like if you did. Let me know what you think in the comments, along with a score out of 10 for that Dodge Charger, so we can get it added to the show car board. Thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic day, whatever it is you're getting up to. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Like and subscribe for Virtual Mechanic.